Rob is with us. Rob's in Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, Rob, how are you?
Hey, Dave, Dr. D, how are you guys doing?
Great, man. How can we help?
I am on baby step 7. Praise God for that. Me and my wife, I've always been the nerd. She's always been the free spirit. We are on baby step 7, by the way. Thank you, John. I've always found that we've led Financial Peace University probably close to a dozen times, but I just recently found some credit cards that she had that I didn't know about. Nothing's on them necessarily. I've always kind of had to drag her to the meetings and stuff like that. And I know oftentimes the answer for this is go to counseling. We've been to counseling. We've been married 26 years, been to counseling many times. And her ultimate response to all of it is, you are who you are, I am who I am, and I don't see the point of going any further much. So I'm kind of since we're on baby step 7, she has a job as well that she does that we don't incorporate into the regular budget. She does kind of her own self-care, like hair and nails and stuff like that. Just never been completely on the same page, but have great success ultimately. So it just needs some guidance. Looking for some guidance from you guys.
Yeah, brother, this isn't a baby step question. This is y'all are on 2 different pages, man. And I can't imagine this isn't showing up in other places in your relationship besides just financially. Where else does this show up?
We are on the same page in so many ways, spiritually, parenting, sexually, things like that. So
it's just money. She says, you be you and I'll be me. I'll keep my paycheck. You pay for the rest of the house. I'll take care of me. I'm going to hide stuff and be deceptive, even though I know you're out leading classes on how people can live whole, connected lives. Everything else is just above board and all good. Yeah,
we have a very healthy marriage.
So here's what I'm telling you.
Outside of this,
you don't. It's not as healthy as you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if I'm the first guy to tell you that, I'm ashamed of the counselors y'all have worked with. Ashamed of your community that surrounds you guys. But there's some deeper rooted issues here, because this is something that means a lot to you, that you've put on the block, that you've gone up and presented yourself in a certain way to your community members, to your church, to your friends, to your family, and she's gone behind your back and been deceptive. That tells me there's deeper cracks in this thing.
Or just straight up bowed up her back and said, screw you, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I mean, that's the message you got. It's the message I heard.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a grown-up. I have the right to do whatever I want to do. And the fact that is contrary to everything you believe doesn't matter. I'm going to do whatever I want. And it's not about whether you have a credit card or not. It's about the disconnection.
Yeah, this is about the marriage.
I mean, if you're not on the same page, and there's a level of disrespect here if you were doing this to her, it'd be the same thing. I mean, and so I don't know, John. I mean, he said, more counseling, but I don't think more counseling is going to do any good. So I don't know. What do you do?
To me, you sit down and she's not being fully known, and he's not being fully known. They're not being fully honest with one another. And the temptation here is he's trying to measure the success of his marriage by the size of his bank account. And that's not how that works, man. You can have a remarkable marriage without 7 figures in the bank, and you can have a train wreck of a marriage, or marriage number 6 or 7 or 8 with 7 figures in the bank. And at some point you have to sit down and say, I'm going to have to put all the cards on the table. I'm heartbroken over this. And I need to know what else is there. Because I've never, this will be the first time I've ever heard of everything firing on all cylinders in a relationship and somebody saying, but I'm going to lie to you and deceive you and not do this thing over here, but everywhere else it's okay. That's just not how that works, man. So there's something there.
That people aren't incongruent in one area and congruent in other areas.
Not that sharply, right?
Yeah.
And so there's something else here. You're right. If she says I'm not going to counseling, what you may want to do is go on your own and say, I need to work on myself, because that's all you can control in this moment. You can't fix her. You can't solve her. You can't help her. She's going to have to want to be plugged in and included in here too.
And a good counselor can coach you on how to interact.
Right.
Differently than you ever have before, maybe.
Yeah.
It creates a different result.
And without talking to her, there may be things that, that Rob, you're bringing to the table that make you not a safe place for her to come home to, that make her have to hide stuff because you're somebody that flies off the handle. You are fill in the blank. And so I don't want to dump all this on her, but what I'm telling you is, man, it would be the first of my experience that you guys are just humming along, except for this one place where she lies to you and is just completely dismisses you.
Obstinate. Yeah. Obstinate. Yeah. Yeah. That's strange.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the call.
Yeah, it's hard.
I wish I could be more help. But the recommendation, you were right, Rob, is more counseling. That you get a different one and someone that's a little more bold, and that calls you out on your stuff and also trains you up on how to interact with her to draw her back into the conversation again. Because couples who look at each other and say, "Yeah, you do you, I'll do me." This is not a couple. This is a roommate.
Right. Yeah, it's a business partner. And y'all have done well as a business community. Way to go, man. You made some money.